Sago Media.
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 Text say go on YouTube, subscribe. Turn up, turn up, turn up, I turn up, nigga.
It's like it's between a hoe ass nigga and a job turkey. It's like a hybrid bitch ass nigga.
Text say go on YouTube, subscribe, nigga.
Say snatchies.
Snatchies.
Snatchies. What she said? Snatchies, her.
In the heart of Staten Island, where the streets is tough and survival is a daily challenge, one woman's story defies the odds. Raised in a world surrounded by struggle and hardships, her mother eventually introduced her to the drug game.
My first time I was on drugs, I was 17 years old, and I sold it with my mom.
But like most men and women who succumb to the streets, her lifestyle eventually led her to serve time in a woman's federal penitentiary. Once free, she emerged stronger, determined to rewrite her story. Today, she serves as a rising social media star, businesswoman, and advocate for incarcerated women globally, inspiring millions with her resilience and authenticity and unapologetic voice.
I see so many young girls that like idolize the money, the cars, the clothes, the wigs, the this and the that. So you do whatever you gotta do to get the money. But it's just like, if I could help anybody not go down that road.
This is the journey of Baby Daddy Snatcher, a woman who turned her past into power and is shaping the future of digital fame. You already know, man. Welcome to Prison Wars. I got a special guest today, very, very special guest. Staten Island's own, the Baby Daddy Snatcher. Thank you for pulling up to the show. What's good, gang?
Snatchy. You know what the fuck about this? Fuck you talk about pussy?
Let the people know where you from. You know what I'm saying? A little bit about your upbringing and all that.
All right, so I didn't even say this in my video, but I was born in Spanish Harlem, but I moved out of Spanish Harlem when I was like 6, but I still would go back to Spanish Harlem because my dad still lived out there till I was about 12, 13. But I moved to Staten Island from Spanish Harlem to Staten Island. And then from Staten Island, after high school, I moved upstate New York. Well, at the end of my high school to Schenectady. And that's when shit got real, when I moved to Schenectady. And if anybody from New York City knows about Schenectady, anytime you say Schenectady, they're like, oh, I used to get money out there. There's a lot of money out here, and there's also a lot of feds. So you come out here to get money, you're getting locked up.
Thank you, Brandon. New at 11, a Schenectady man is now facing 8 drug and weapons charges tonight after police raided his home. CBS 6 cameras were the only ones there last night as police arrested Amir Rivera at his home on Georgetta Dix Boulevard. Inside, police say they found crack cocaine, heroin, marijuana, an AK-47 rifle, and a handgun. This all ended a 4-month investigation. Rivera is in the Schenectady County Jail tonight, awaiting his next court appearance.
A lot of niggas go OT and get wrapped up in somebody else's indictment. Gotta be careful, man.
I only sold weed in Staten Island. I sold weed with my mom. When we moved upstate, my mother just changed our apartment in the harbor, Mariners Harbor, MH, Jungle Nails, all of that. We turned that into a weed spot. Mind you, I'm like 16, 17. And she should send me to Brooklyn to go get the weed from the Red Door. I heard that they closed, so I could disclose the location now. So I should go to Fulton Street in Brooklyn and go get the weed from the Jamaican. From me moving upstate, I dated drug dealers that sold crack. And my mother still sold weed out here a little bit, like, because my mother had a part-time job and she worked at the gas station and it was in the hood. So this bitch was selling, excuse my language, ma, but this lady was selling weed out of the Stewarts on Brandywine and Albany Street. Ain't no cap about rap. And one of her peoples asked me, because they see my boyfriend coming in and out, because some of her peoples, they smoked, it was weed. So she'll let someone come to the house or whatever, and I knew them, and they was like, oh, that's your boyfriend? I'm like, yeah. clearly he's a drug dealer. He got a nice car, looked like he got a couple dollars. And back then, he probably wasn't even that rich. Like, because I dated way more richer men than that man. That man was basically broke compared to the men that I dated. But you could tell that he gave drug dealer vibes. So they asked, like, oh, does your man have the whites? I'm like, what white stuff? What, like, I never sold crack. I sold weed, but like, it wasn't like I really sold weed. Like, it was really from my mom. Like, that's the only person I would ever sell drugs for. I never sold drugs for nobody in my life. But so when they tell, I was like, I assumed he's talking about crack or coke, whatever you mean, but that's not my life. So then when he said that, I said, oh, let me go fuck my nigga.
Right.
I'm gonna get this money. Fuck you talking about? So I went back to Staten, because I always went to Staten Island. Even when I stayed upstate, I would be in Staten Island every weekend. I would get on that Greyhound and be out. So I went to Staten Island. I asked my mans and like my friends, like, yo, like crack, coke, white stuff. Like, I just went down there asking random questions, and they was like, okay, start with an 8-ball. So then I started selling with an 8-ball, but then started selling coke. Coke was wild, messy. You put on a scale, just powders a mess. I went up to Glens Falls. I'm in Schenectady, so Glens Falls is probably like an hour and some change away, up more. So you know, the further up you go, the better the price. Like, the more money you make, because it's not as excuse me, it's
accessible.
Yes, so that worked out for a little bit. But then at that time, I was in like the worst relationship that I could have ever been in. Like, when I tell you worst, I was shooting at bitches, going to bitches' jobs, beating them up, kicking in doors. It was crazy. So I had to get out of Schenectady, and I moved down south to North Carolina.
Right.
Trash. So I stayed up a little bit, and I came back. So I tried to get my phone jumping again. That shit was slow as fuck.
Let me ask you a question real quick before you continue, and I definitely need you to continue. You say that you was in a relationship during the time period where you was hustling. Was you hustling with your boyfriend, or was it just a? All right,
I was
got
17. He was like 23. I had no business being with that man. Zero.
But
Right. And I gave 17. I didn't give like, oh, she could be 21. No, I was like 100 pounds. I didn't have, I have a lot of body now, but like, I'm way more thicker than what I was then. But like, I was definitely giving, oh, she's 17. Like, but he had a little dick.
The institutions of the ghetto offer little competition to the drug trade. Near a school, we interviewed a group of kids.
How many of you go to school? I go to school. Oh, Pop, what's that? You go to school? Yeah.
The kid in the back goes to school, figuratively speaking. Or as his friends put it, he attends crack school, majoring in pipology and stealing cars.
Where'd you say you went to school?
Pipology, crack school. That's my man said. Pipology. They on the pipe ball team. Nah, they go to
In many neighborhoods, younger family members grow up watching the choices of their older siblings, cousins, or even parents. When those role models enter the drug game, it can seem like an easy path to respect, money, and survival. But what's often hidden is the danger, the violence, and the inevitable consequences. The cycle repeats, pulling the next generation deeper into the same life, where dreams fade and freedom is lost. Breaking that cycle isn't easy, but it is necessary, because the future shouldn't be defined by the mistakes of the past.
I was always in the streets, low key. I can't explain. Like, I never thought I was not in the streets. Because even when I was a kid, so when you were a kid, I didn't realize that my dad, so he clearly sold drugs. I don't know, it was giving crack at this point, but I never knew that, oh, this is your uncle so-and-so, this is your uncle so-and-so. These are niggas that's buying work for my father.
Gotcha.
But I didn't know that until like I got older. I was like, why is daddy always out on the stoop when we come and pull up to the building? Like, this nigga out here selling drugs. I didn't know. And my brother, my oldest brother, he was back and forth in the jail for selling drugs as well. My uncles in and out of jail for selling drugs. Like, it's always been around me. I don't know. Like, if I stayed in the city, I probably wouldn't have sold drugs, because I was pursuing acting and dancing. Upstate New York, there's nothing to do. There's literally nothing to do. Like, you can go to the gas station, somebody's gonna come and ask you, like, oh, you know, I can get some work from? Like, what? Like, when I tell you it's easy to sell drugs out here, it's easy, and the money is good. I was making like 3 bands a day, because I started selling crack and heroin.
Did you have any negative experiences as far as like robberies or dealing with aggressive men or women?
But it wasn't, they didn't even rob, so I felt bad. So I ended up breaking up with that guy. So like, so I went to North Carolina, came back, started getting my money up. I started dating another guy. He sold weed. That nigga was like the weed plug around here. We was the same age, and he would help me. I would fuck my 8-ball up, and he'll give me the money to re-up again. But then we ended up breaking up because he kept cheating on me. And I met some other guy, and then we started dating, who's now my co-defendant. So then we started dating, and then, but when I started dating my co-defendant, he didn't also drugs. He just thought like, oh my, because my ex-boyfriend, he had bread. He did buy me my car. He bought me a BMW 5 Series, 528i, or whatever. But then when I got with him, he's like, yeah, get rid of that car. You not driving that car. That nigga bought it. I'm gonna buy you another car. He bought me a better car. Like he says I could do better, and he did. He bought me a ML 430, a Benz truck with the panoramic sunroof, fire. And then he traded that shit in. When we just riding by a dealership, he's like, oh, you look nice in that car. Turn around. We ain't got the Jag. I said, oh, this nigga got clock it. I'm 21. Clock that shit, nigga. Yeah, like, and I didn't even suck dick like that.
Talk heavy.
So boom. He found out I sold drugs. This nigga will buy me a whole ounce of heroin. I don't know if anybody who sells heroin. I was buying bundles. I wasn't breaking. I didn't recook crack. I didn't cook crack. I didn't bundle my bundles of heroin. I bought bundles for $55. I went and bought my work. It was already cooked up, already ready. Bought 100 grams. And that was like, that's just how I kept it. Like, I just didn't, I don't care to be in there. Ooh, I cook crack. I don't care. I'm trying to make money and not cook crack. I don't care about the science. So I have my own connect. My co-defendant, he's the plug for upstate. So he wanted me to be the plug too. He's like, oh, so you sell drugs? Like, girls don't sell drugs. Why do you sell drugs? If you want to sell drugs and sell drugs, I'm just like, I don't want to be the white girl. Like, I already have to tiptoe around this game because I am a bitch. But they knew I dated a crazy Haitian nigga too, so they knew what timing he was on. And now with him, so they know he's like a big deal too. So I don't really know. And then I wouldn't want to put my boyfriends in that position. So I had a plug already from the Bronx. He was in the Bronx, but he was up here too. So sometimes I go to the Bronx to get it, right? One day, my plug was like, oh, I got some work. It's $25 a gram, da-da-da-da. I was like, but I just read up. I didn't need no work at the time. But I'm like, damn, that would be a good business deal for, my boyfriend. Like, why not go get a brick for, 25? If he's paying 35, you can get it for 25. So I'm just thinking like, okay, I fuck with my plug. I've been fucking my plug for probably 2 years now. Like, they mad cool, or they can be. I set the shit up. I don't tell him that the work is for my boyfriend. I just go down there. He gets in the back in my truck, and he's like, oh, what's up? He passes the brick to my boyfriend. I know he was a little surprised that he was in the car because I could tell by his energy. But it was him and somebody else. They get in the back seat, whatever it may be. He passes the brick to my boyfriend, and then my boyfriend opens it up to test it, whatever it may be. Them niggas jumped out the car. I said,
damn.
I was so fucking mad. First of all, it made it look like I robbed my boyfriend. First of all, because I set this whole transaction up. Like, would I ever? Never would I ever. But it's just like, damn, like, why would you do that to me, my nigga? Like, what the fuck? He probably thought, I think in his brain, he thought that he was going to come to make the sale and I wasn't going to check shit and just go about my business, and he got an easy lick. Then the nigga tried to text me like, oh, I'm sorry. It's just that my man's was locked up. I needed the bill money. I said, you did not, you made me look crazy. Fuck you think about? I said, these niggas are gonna try to kill you. Like, if I don't try to kill you, like, who you, like, what? You literally just fucking robbed my man. Like, now I'm sitting here with him. He's looking at me like I'm a op. Like, what are you talking about? I said, that was really fucking wild. Like, I trusted in you that you wouldn't do no weird shit, but I should have paid attention. But I just wouldn't think somebody that I knew for the past 2 years would do that. That was wild to me. Like, but in this game, I guess that's what fucking happens. But that was... People have given me fake work. Like, when I was... So if I didn't buy my work from them, those are the crazy thing. I trusted them. Like, I could go to them and buy 100 grams and don't feel like no way. But when I buy work upstate, and I would have to go buy 77777 and break that shit up because I don't want nobody to know how much money I'm making. I want you to think I'm just making a little $700. Like, I ain't getting nothing too much. So I will go and break it up. And one time I did buy fake work for somebody. But the funny thing is, I gave him a fake $100 bill. He calls me and was like, "Oh, you gave me a fake $100." I was like, "Oh shit, my bad. I'm spinning around. I'll give you another $100. Like, it's $100. Like, here." Come to find out, then they gave me fake work. I was like, like, what the fuck? I guess.
Let me ask you this. After the whole robbery situation and even the fake work situation, did it have you, did it ever like curb you or deter you from keep going, moving around in the streets, or did you move differently afterwards?
No. I just didn't buy my work from them. I started buying.
Did you ever feel like you had to move around with a gun to protect yourself?
No.
Right. You felt like you felt like you were safe, and obviously you said you never really got robbed at gunpoint, so you was fortunate enough to not have to experience
Thankfully.
that. All right,
But people
so
love me. Like the fiends, they respect me. They love me. Like there was one time I got pulled over and I had no license, driver to suspend the license, and I had work on me. Thank God they didn't find it. It was only probably about an 8-ball, but I had a scale on me. I had everything on me. But I was even driving. I was parked. I was dropping somebody else at a hotel, and the police come. I'm like, what? Oh, you made a suspicious move on you. I said I was gonna get a soda from the soda machine. Hello, like you're a beast, but this is a white town, so that's what happens. But I called my one fiend, he pulled it up, he came, got my car, drove my car, he said, you owe me. Nigga, I got you, relax, unk. Drive me off. Like, when I tell you, like, the times is like, they love me, like, they all love me. And if somebody would try to, like, get crazy, like, oh, this ain't a gram. It's a gram, she's good. I was like, better listen to your mans.
So,
it's a gram, though.
all right, let me ask you this. So, let's get into how you kind of got locked up. How did you get locked up? Like, was it a thing like where they was watching you, or was it just a random wiretap? So you was being watched. Were you a part of a bigger indictment, or it was just you was solely the? Okay. Walk me through it. Like.
So the first time we noticed the police was found because Max used to go get work from like 156 and Broadway and Sugar Hill. We walk out the restaurant. There's a car parked at the fire hydrant, but Mag's boyfriend didn't facilitate nothing. He didn't touch the drugs. He didn't touch the money. He just would introduce whoever's supposed to get it to the plug, and that's it. And then we leave, like we'll spend a weekend in the city. So the man that's supposed to be the transporter comes out. He's like, yo, somebody followed me down from upstate. I'm 2.5 hours away from the city. Like niggas like, oh, you paranoid, nigga, you paranoid. We go outside. I literally joke. I said, probably this nigga right here. He's in the Impala. So this is like, now we're like 167th Street. So now we go all the way back to 156th Street to go to the plug to go make the whatever, because that's what we always do. We'll go eat at this restaurant, and then we go to the plug or whatever. We see the same fucking car. I'm like, that's a little strange. little bit, but in our brains, the first thing that I thought about was like, who's trying to rob us? That's what I thought. I didn't think police, I didn't think feds, because who thinks you're that important for the feds to watch you? Like, I'm just thinking like, we're kids. We're 21, he's 24. Like, we're kids. What are you talking about? So I'm driving. So as I'm driving down Broadway, I make a U-turn. First of all, Broadway's a big street. I bust a U-turn. That car busts a U-turn with me. I make a left. It makes a left foot. I make a left. It makes a left with me. I'm just gonna like, all right. Okay, I'm fucking confused. Like, what is the fuck going on? Like, who is it? So then I just park. And then when I park, I don't see the car no more.
What year is this? Real quick.
Huh?
Year. What year is this?
2000. That might have been 2009 when that happened.
Okay, go ahead.
Late 2000, like December 2009. So then we don't make the transaction. Whatever case may be, whatever happened, that happens. And then in February, I go to my mother's house. I leave my car running. I go outside. Car going. Hold on. So I go back outside. My car is fucking cold. I left my car running in the driveway, but my mother's on a quiet street. There's nobody that will take my car. I go back in the house. I'm like, Mom stole my car. She's like, girl, stop playing. I was like, my car is not there. And I drove a bright red Jaguar. Who stole my car? And everybody in Schenectady is small, so everybody know that's my car. I don't care who you are, what you are. You know that's my car, because ain't nobody out here riding around that little ass Jag, bright red. So then I call the police. The police call. They don't even write a report. They pull out their little Blue's Clues notepad, which was sketchy to me. I'm thinking like, bitch, where is my police incident report? When you pulling out this little spiral book and writing in your little doodling, and then I heard on the thing saying, oh, we found the car, da-da-da. It was around the corner from my house, my mother's house. So then I run over there. All the doors is open. That's back before the GPS was in the car. So I had my time. They took my time and my car key. My car key had my house key. So my building had a key fob. So they took my car key. They had my key fob to get into my building. So then that's February. March 28th, my anniversary's coming up. March 28th, 2010. Boom. Kicking my fucking door. But before that happened, that night before that happened, my boyfriend was on the phone with the transporter guy. I was like, yo, do you want me to bring it? He's like, no, don't bring it. First of all, he had his own locations where he put his own stuff at. We never brought work to our house. Even though I sold 100 grams, I still didn't keep my work in my house. I had the dope that he brought me. I had some dope left over from what he bought me, because you got to keep that in rice in the fridge in a certain way. So I had that with me in the house, but there was only a little bit left. But we never kept work in the house, and especially him, like, he's the weight man. Like, he was buying 3 to 4 bricks at a time. Like, you're not keeping that here. So back and forth, he went back and forth with the transporter, like, don't bring it, don't bring it. I don't know what happened that night, but clearly they brought the shit to my house. 10 a.m. March 20th, 2010, they kicked in my door, the wildest shit ever. I have on a shirt, no drawers. He's same thing with him. We sitting there, you just hear boom, police, clear. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. I felt like I lived in an 8-bedroom house with 7 bathrooms, because why is it taking y'all an hour to get in my bedroom? Because the door was closed. We just standing on both sides of the bed like, this nigga, like, he's about ready to jump out the window, but we live in the 3rd floor. I said, if he's gonna jump out that window, he gonna break some legs or die. So I don't know what he want to do. So they come in, open the door. They come in, both, like, they had like Dracos at this point. I don't know what kind of guns they were. I know they had 2 handles on them, but on that bitch. And they had like full army fatigue. These niggas was like 7 feet tall, geared up, face mask, helmets, everything. Throw me on the floor, put their boot on my face. I said, bro, I'm light skinned. You gotta put your boot on my face? Like, I'm not even, first of all, I was standing like this. I can't conceal shit because all I got was on a t-shirt. You can see my titties, everything through the shirt. I have on no fucking drawers. Like, so they do that, hog tie us, pick us up. I think they even gun butted my boyfriend, because if I can remember, he had like blood coming down inside his face, because he's just as yellow as I am. And they raided, they found a brick. They said, we got it. I said, they were so happy to find one measly ass fucking brick. If y'all only waited a day or 2, y'all would have had more, but thank God. So they find a brick, they arrest us, they seize my Jag. His car wasn't there, because the night his friend came and took his car and drove it to wherever the fuck they drove it to. We go down to the DEA building, and they try to interrogate me, ask me all these questions. And what really creeped me out the most is that at the time I thought I was pregnant, and I was on the phone telling my friend that, like, bitch, I had my period this long. And here they go, how does it feel to be in jail and you're pregnant? I'm just like, why y'all in my business? So the questions they was asking me, I wasn't answering. So they took us down to Albany County Jail. It was a Sunday. We got arraigned Monday, the next day. They told me he was facing 20 to life. They told me I was facing 10 to life. He got no bail because he ended up being a kingpin. I ended up getting bail because I had no priors, and I think my bill was like $25K. My mom was in the court, and so was his mother. And my mother owns her house, so she put up her house to get me out of jail. And then I was out on bail for 2 years fighting a case. But in between that, me and my ex-boyfriend broke up because I caught the nigga cheating on me, and I left. Before that, though, I'm in my lawyer's office asking to take the time for a nigga, like, yo, it don't make no sense. But I didn't tell him that because I didn't want to get his hopes up, because I didn't know what would happen at the time. So I'm just like, let me talk to my lawyer. Was I scared to death? Petrified. I've never been to jail. But I'm already facing 10 to life. And in the feds at that time, whatever you was facing, you was getting. But shout out to Eric Holder, the U.S. Attorney Eric Holder. He fought for nonviolent drug charges to get less time, because he felt like that the time was too severe and too much, which it actually was, because I was in jail with bitches who was doing time for that, but doing time for nonviolent drug charges got like 20 and 40 years. 40 fucking years.
Yeah, Bill Clinton during the 90s was real hard on drug offenses, and Barack Obama, and like you said, Eric Holder, they came in and they changed a lot of laws. I got a lot of homies that gave time back and got out early because of them crack and them coke laws and stuff of that nature. What did they end up charging you with? Or what?
Conspiracy. So after I got locked up, they locked up 14 other people throughout the months leading up to our case, and it was 16 of us. And then they was doing, hold on. What's out here from? So then they did me wild dirty while I was out on bail. As soon as I got bailed out, I'm telling. I'm a rat. I'm snitching. I'm like, telling on who? Like, first of all, when you're in the feds, if your case is not sealed, all of your information is accessible to whoever wants to get it. You can go down to the federal building and ask for anybody's documents and you will get it. They will print that shit out for you. Whatever, the court minutes, whatever the fuck you want. Like, because when they picked up, okay, so boom. Our case didn't start from us. We was on a wiretap for 8 months. I was with my ex-boyfriend for 10 months. So out of the 10 months, 8 months of that, he was on a wiretap, and it was me. I was the lucky fucking winner. But somebody from Hudson was telling. But my ex-boyfriend and a guy from Hudson had the same connects in Sugar Hill. Okay. So there's districts. So we're like, I think we're Northern District, and that's, I don't know, Western District. I don't know the names of them anymore. But
this isn't Harlem.
Yeah, Sugar Hill's in Harlem.
I know. I'm saying where you got in, where they kicked the door in at.
No, upstate near Schenectady.
Okay. Just for clarity, my bad. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. So Hudson is upstate New York as well. It's probably like 45 minutes from Schenectady. So he's telling on the nigga in the city. So that's out of the jurisdiction. So what they had to do was wiretap the connect, and my ex-boyfriend was the lucky winner. Like, we don't know our informant. He didn't tell on us directly. We indirectly got caught in a crossfire that had nothing to do with us, because he was telling on Jamar Green, who ended up telling, and then ended up recanting his statement, because they went to go arrest him, and then they brought him upstate New York because they had to tie him up with us so they could make their case. But they got messy though. So when I was out on bail, before they picked everybody up, and so they picked me up, my ex-boyfriend up, and Connect. So one day I'm at my ex-boyfriend's mother's house. I was signing up for school, cosmetology school. They seized my car, so I didn't have a car at the moment. So she's like, oh, you could drive my minivan. I said, all right, cool, I'll drive your minivan, whatever can it be. And we was at her house, and his friend pulls up, and this friend, he loved me, and I loved him back. Like, so when I got with my ex-boyfriend, a lot of people didn't like, because they thought I was a gold digger. Mind you, I'm making about $2,500 to $3,000 a day selling crack and heroin. Like, this nigga was on my dick. This nigga knocked on the door by my friend's door asking for the light-skinned girl. I didn't know who this man was. He chased me down for 30 days. And I was like, no, don't like light-skinned men. Little do y'all fucking know this nigga's on my dick. But then I started to like him and ended up madly in love with the nigga. For boom. So everybody, he has a big family. So a lot of his family didn't like me. A lot of his friends didn't like me. They thought I was a gold digger because he was doing a lot for me, but I didn't ask for nothing. I didn't ask for the cars. I didn't ask for the jewelry. I didn't ask for none of that shit. He just did. That's just what he did. So this one friend genuinely liked me from jump. So I always liked him. So I was like, this is the only friend of his that like I really fucked with. He was an older guy too. So for some reason he liked me and I liked him back. Like, he was mad cool. But he was like, he was at his mother's house. And he was like, sis, I'll give you a ride there. You don't got to take her car. Then I said, no, I'm cool. Like, no, don't worry about it. Like, I'm good. But he kept insisting, like, oh, let me take you. I was like, no. I kept telling him, no, I'm good. Like, I don't need no favors. You know, his mom's gonna let me drive a car, and I'm really close to his mom. So I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need it. So I finally just like, all right, fuck, you want to give me a ride? Like, I'll take the ride. Clearly, you want to give me a ride. I don't know why, but I'll take the ride. We on our way to go drive me up to school. And then he was telling me his story, how he did like 22 years in prison for murder and this and that. I'm just like, I already knew the story, but I never heard it from the horse's mouth. My ex-boyfriend told me the story, but I didn't hear it for details. But I'm just listening. He's just telling me his story or whatever. So he said, oh, hold on, I'm gonna get some gas. So I said, no, get the gas when you come back. I'll give you gas money. Get the gas when you come back. I was rushing. So I'm trying to just get to school to enroll. He pulls over and get the gas anyway. I see the police car in the parking lot, paying no mind. He gets us a car to go pay for the gas. For some reason, I think I went to go cut the radio down. After I went to go cut the radio down and got back up, there was a DEA jacket outside my window. I said, what the fuck is this? Like, what? I thought I was getting rearrested. I didn't know what the fuck was going on because it's broad daylight. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm a little confused as to what's going on. So then as I'm looking out the window, his friend comes out in handcuffs out of the gas station. So I said, it felt like I was like in a Pay in the Full movie. It felt so unbelievably like I didn't know what to say. So the person standing in front of the car, the door, because it was his back to me. He wasn't facing me. It was his back. So then I opened the car door. He's not saying nothing to me. So I just slid out the car and I was about to 100-yard dash because don't rearrest me because I'm thinking I'm about to go to jail too because like I don't know what's going on here. So then as I'm getting out the car and I'm like trying to like tiptoe away, I hear one of the agents it was definitely agent because I got to know this mother because he would taunt me. Oh, somebody call Miss Goody a cab. Suck my dick. Don't ever say my fucking name. Like, it was giving that I set him up.
Right.
And the way that they designed that, they couldn't have did it any better than the way that when I tell you that was something out of a fucking movie. Like, I could not understand how did they just, even if they had his phone wiretapped, I don't think it was a wiretap. At this point, I think they was following him. Because there's no way they designed that. Because then when I looked in the parking lot, there was a whole bunch of unmarked cars just in the parking lot just randomly. So I'm like, oh, these must be the feds and regular cars because they don't drive police cars. And with the feds, they need a police car, a city police officer to escort them in because they need their permission to come into the city because the feds have no jurisdiction. So they have to go to the city to ask for permission, and they have one cop escort them through, basically. So I'm just looking like, this is the most wildest shit ever. That was the first time I cried. I ran down a block. I called his mother. I said, oh my God, can you please come and get me? They just arrested so-and-so. And she's just like, what? I said, they just fucking arrested this man. Like, oh my God. Like, and I knew for years that he probably thought I told him, and he did. I'm just like, I get why you would think that, but my thing is, if you didn't get no paperwork, why would you assume that?
Did you ever get a chance to talk to him?
No.
Right. He's still locked up?
No, he's home, and it's crazy because he's been took, because my ex-boyfriend is home now. He did 13 and 8. 13 years.
Off this case that you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he's home now. He's seen him, and he was just like, he wants to set us up to talk to him. I said, I know he believes I told him, right? He's like, yeah. I was just like, I could understand, but I don't, because if you've been through the system, if you know the law, like, why didn't your lawyer would have gave you my statement? Like, I honestly didn't know this man's name. Like, how would I, like, honestly, the way they designed it, how can I set that up? If I told you not to stop and get gas and you stopped to get gas, that was on your timing. I told you to get on the way back. Like, maybe he probably thought that was a design so I wouldn't be in a car. But, like, even still, that wouldn't make no sense because I understand 50-50 why he thought I did. And then I don't understand why he would assume that, because you didn't get no paperwork on me.
You was fighting your case for 2 years. You out on
2015. I was sentenced to 41 months.
No, what jail did you have to turn yourself into?
Danbury FPC. So when I did 1 day in county, and then I got arraigned the next day. So when you go to county, it's just regular, pat you down, change clothes, go upstairs. Prison ain't like that. That bitch made me squat and cough like 4 times. I'm like, this bitch must be gay, because like, when I tell you that was the most degrading thing I've experienced in my life, squatting and cough. Girl, what? What made me mad? Because I came in drunk. I was irritated because I was scared. Like, but I ain't pussy. Like, it is what it is. Like, so I'm trying to drink. I was so scared that I didn't even feel the liquor. Like, I didn't get drunk. So they was like, oh, was you drinking? I'm scared that they could smell the liquor on me. I was like, my scary ass. Yeah. I should have said no, because bitch probably couldn't even smell it. She probably did. I don't fucking know. But so then I ended up going to the SHU. Segregated housing unit. Confinement, basically. That's what it is. So I'm already claustrophobic. And everybody kept saying, like, oh, prison is better than county. I got to prison, and baby, it was given county. I was just like, I can't do this. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna suffocate. Mine just bars. It wasn't even like a door. So
you hold on. You went straight from like the receiving room to the SHU, straight to the hole. What happened? What got you to the hole?
Because I was drunk.
Oh, okay, I got you. You came in intoxicated.
So
okay,
I got a detox for 24 hours. But mind you, when you surrender yourself, you're surrendering yourself and somebody's being released. So when I surrendered myself, somebody must have got released, and somebody probably came in a day at the same time, whatever. I don't know. But the next day there was no beds for me to go up there. But no one's telling me this. So I sat in SHU for 3 days. For me, 3 days felt like 3 months.
And this your first time being locked up, right? Yeah, that's the mental effery. Go ahead.
Panicking. They said, "Oh, you want to go for rec?" I'm like, "Yeah." They'll come by. You want to go for rec? I'm like, yeah. Never came to get me for rec. I'm on my period. Never came to get me for shower. The food was done. Didn't eat shit. I was just like, "You want to book? I want to get the fuck out of here." They said I was supposed to be here for 24 hours. It's going. I don't even know how many days it's been at this point. And them bitches in the SHU do not sleep. They argue, they fight because all right, so when I first got to Danbury, it's up the hill, there's a camp, and where the SHU is, there's the compound. So there's a medium for women at the time. So in the middle of the night, bitches get into a fight, and then they bring the bitches in there. Oh, bitch, suck my dick! I'm gonna beat your ass, bitch! Like, yelling all night. There was no sleep in the SHU. I'm glad I had a one-man cell, but like all fucking night, these bitches would be screaming. They argue with their girlfriends. They fight and they threaten this person. Yo, can you fetch me some coffee? Yo, I'm hungry. Oh, officer, can I? I'm just like, mind you, they gave me this thick ass. The pad was this thick. I wear tampons. The pad was this thick. It felt like I had a dick between my legs. I'm on my period. I'm stressed out, and you give me these thick ass pads. I'm sitting there, can't even shower, and it's middle of, well, not middle of summer, but it's like beginning of summer, so it's still hot. It was the shoes and experience, and I don't wish that on nobody. I don't know how y'all bitches get into fights and go to the shoe, because baby, it took me one time and I was done there. I obeyed the rules in prison, my heart.
So after they finally let you out the shoe, just how was it like going through population and the feds?
It was funny because first of all, when you get out the shoe, like I said, I'm camp status. Anybody 10 years and under and non-violent go right to camp status. If you 10 years and more, you automatically medium FCI. So you walk out the FCI doors, like the R&D doors. That's where you come in at, and they say, "Oh, walk up the hill." I said, "Is this a trick?" Like, what hill? I don't know what the fuck. I've never been here. What you mean walk up the hill? Because when you stand at the bottom, you can't see that there's a camp at the top because there's trees and everything up there. So I'm just like, what? Like, what? So then as you walk up the hill, you see the camp and you get there. It's shell shock a little bit, but it was like the first day of school.
Was you ever scared around the women?
No, because so when I was locked up in the feds, this is more prestigious prison. It was a whole bunch of old rich white women.
Right.
So it was given nursing home. It was given send me home on an ankle monitor, because why am I here? Because this don't make no sense. Like I was probably like the only, no, there was probably 2 or 3 other drug charges in there. Like not that little, because there's only 2. I want to say Danbury holds probably like 257 women. So there wasn't a lot of women there, but nobody's scary. Nobody took the FCI. Now that's where all the YBs is at. All the bitches that's turned lit. But I heard it's fun down there. She was there for 3 months.
Yeah.
I was in prison. Yeah, I was in prison with Frank Lucas' wife, the American gangster, the Harlem nigga. His wife.
When you was in the prison or whatever, did you have any like negative encounters with any of the guards, male or female?
Not necessarily the officer. I knew one officer was trying to fuck me, like, cause I worked in commissary, and I bought my commissary. I think the max was like 150 or 175. I maxed my commissary sheet out. He throws my stuff down and thing. He's like, "Oh, 115." I'm like, he just trying for a bag of rice. I was like, "Excuse me, let me take my little laundry bag and get the fuck up out of here." And then the next day, like a few days after that, he was fucking one of the inmates. But mind you, he's married to another officer that works at the same prison. Like, see, with the women's prison, I think it was... Yo, my God, these feet. Like, I wish there was 5 officers in it that I would have definitely let them pipe me down. Like, because I'm not gay. That's everybody's favorite question. Is like, "Oh, you let a girl fuck you?" No. "You let a girl eat your pussy?" No. "Did you eat a girl?" No. I don't like girls. Like, but the crazy thing was, as soon as I walked in there, I guess I gave dyke. I came in, I had the ASAP. Back then, it was ASAP Rocky braids. Now they Pop Smoke braids. But you know, the part down the middle of the braids that come down the side. So I guess I gave, and that was the first thing. When I came into the shoot, I had makeup on from the night before because I went to the club. I was drunk. I was drunk from the night before going into the shoot. They was like, "Oh, she came in ready." Bitch, not too much. I don't like bitches. So, but when I got to the camp, whatever it be, they was fake on my heels. Like the Colombian, the baddies, the hair down to their ass, blue eyes, fire, BBLs, like perky titties, like, "Oh, I goody." I'm like, I'm thankful that I could bag a bad bitch. I don't like girls.
Like it was common.
They wasn't gay. There was girls in there that wasn't gay. That not turned gay. That was gay for the stay. They called it lesbian until release date or gay for the stay. And yeah, they be here bulldagging.
Like
last bunkie, she was gay though. I don't know if she was gay in real life. Love her to death, and it's crazy because I thought she would be my worst bunkie, but she was my favorite bunkie. And she had a girlfriend, and yeah, a lot of girls in there was gay. Like, I just don't like. I ain't gonna hold you. Some of them the studs, dykes, I don't know what you call them. Now, I was like, listen now, put a little beret in your hair, bitch, because, like, it's giving. I might. But yeah, so Danbury is the closest prison to Puerto Rico. There was no federal prison in Puerto Rico, so all the Puerto Ricans would come to Danbury. So them bitches had BBLs, hair down their backs, like still bad bitches, because you know niggas like love a Puerto Rican bitch. So anytime, like even if you see a nigga during count, because they would set up like random guys to do count, but we had like the same officers that would be. It was only one officer for 250 women that would be up there with us. It was a nursing home. They don't need no help. So, but they'll send like other people up to do count. So you see that one black nigga come through and then do the count, and everybody look through their cubes like, y'all see that? Like we would be so happy just to get a glimpse of a man. So when that would happen, the kitchen was ran by the Spanish girls. So they'd be a lot of times the new officers would work perimeter. The niggas with the guns in the cars make sure we're not trying to escape. You go outside and go take a walk around the track, and you see that Spanish just rubbing that nigga's arm through the window. Like, bitch, can we get some dick too?
So during your time in the feds, you did 3 years. During your time in the feds, what would you say was like the hardest part of just doing the time period?
Mentally, my mom.
Okay.
Like I was scared I was gonna lose my mom in prison. That's all I got. Right. I don't have kids. I didn't have. Well, I didn't have a nigga like type shit. I guess whatever you want to call it. But like was losing my mom. Like prison, low key wasn't hard, and dealing with bitches. Bitches are dirty. Bitches is nasty. But losing her, what would have took me out. That would have took me out in there. Like that was hard because you hear people on the phone. Oh, he's like, you hear that scream. You're like, oh my god, who died? That's the first thing you say. You hear somebody screaming on the phone, like, oh my god, who fucking died? Like, then you look out the door and you see somebody you know. You're like, oh my god, please, Jesus Christ. People lost their husbands in there. People lost their kids in there. People gave birth to their kids in there. It's just like, for women, I feel like it's more of an emotional than a physical. That was another thing. Like, I thought I'd have kids at 25. I was in prison at 25. So then I come home at 27. Then I'm like, fuck it. I don't want to have a baby. I'm on federal probation. Because God forbid if I violate, I don't want to give birth to my baby. I have to go back to prison because I violated. So once I get off of that, it's just like, but then as a woman, your body is ticking. And it's just like, that's people like, why you don't have no kids? I said, well, my timeline didn't work out the way I thought it was. And now I'm just sitting here not knowing how to navigate. Now I'm just like, do I even want kids? Because like now I waited so long, and it's just like, damn, like prison fucked up a lot of things other than just like taking time away. Like it's the longevity of things that it affected me in ways that like I could never get back. I could never get my 25. I felt like I was in prison from 22 to 30 actually, because that's how long it was. It was 8 years of my life, because even on pretrial, you can't travel. Probation is worse than prison. Like I couldn't even drink when I came home. Like imagine having somebody knocking on your door, coming to your house and checking your house and come down here. And then in federal prison, you have to call every single day and punch in your ID number to make sure you don't gotta go take a piss test in the next morning. Every day, New Year's, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, every holiday. It do not matter. They would have you down there New Year's peeing in a cup.
Crazy. Yeah, release time. It's time for you to come home. Getting short. You see the parole board. They let you.
There's no parole in there.
Oh my! I forgot. Feds is more so.
That's why you do. What is it? 97% of your time. That's why I got sentenced to 41 months. I did 3 years and 5 months off. Like it's like 2 days off of each year type shit. I don't fucking know.
What was the biggest transition for you coming home from the federal penitentiary as a convicted felon now? Like, what was the biggest hurdle you think you had to overcome, whether it was something mental or whether it was with employment, whether it was getting back on feet with your family, building relationships, etc.?
I can't lie, prison kind of helped me and my mom, because me and my mother had a typical mother-daughter relationship where I done fought my mother. So when she found out I sold crack, because I sold weed with my mother, I didn't sell crack. When she found out I sold crack, she kicked me out the house. But I'm 20 at the time, so I'm like, I'm out of here anyway. Like I was on my way out. So me and my mother had a lot of turmoil in our relationship, and with prison, for some reason, we had no other option but to talk. And I think that hearing my mother cry when I got sentenced, that tore me the fuck up. That was the mental part of prison was the worst part. That tore me up. So for some reason, my mother was always a hard person. Like you couldn't, like if you hug her, she'd be like, stop. Like she was never so. My mother was always tough. And then after she passed, I learned that my mother had like probably like the worst life you could have ever imagined. But prison definitely brought me closer to my mother. Like I feel like that was the first time I heard my mother say, "I was proud of you." Not saying that she never said it to me before, but I can't remember. But I know she said it repeatedly. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Even though I'm in a situation, she made sure to tell me that she was proud of me. So I would say prison, unfortunately and fortunately, brought me closer to my mom. Now, when I came home, I'm 27. I've lived with boyfriend. Well, I lived with boyfriends together, but I never paid no bills. So I come home. My mother has a 2-family house. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to come home. You know, I'm on home confinement. I'm living in my mama's house from January to May. Probation comes to check the house out. I'm not here. I think I'm at work. And apparently they get into an argument with my mother's husband. Upstairs is a whole 2-bedroom apartment. No one's living there. Like, it's nothing. And then, mind you, when I was on pre-trial before I went to prison, they made me leave my apartment to move into my mother's house where her husband always lived at, and said, well, how you gonna pay your rent? So during pre-trial, they made me move into this house with this person, with my mother's husband. Now that I'm out on, come home from prison doing 3 years, I'm fucked up. I'm working a job making like $150 a week. And probation gets into an argument with my mother's husband and tell me I cannot live in my mother's house because my mother's husband is a felon. He caught a charge back in like the 80s. It's 2015. He's never been in trouble ever again. But mind you, this is the same house that y'all told me to move into when I was on pre-trial. Now I can't live. You know I'm broke, my nigga. Like, come on, my nigga. Like, where am I going to go? I said, well, where am I supposed to go? She said a shelter. That was the first time I really felt like life was shitty as fuck. Because I go from living this lavish lifestyle, living in a loft apartment with 15-foot ceilings, getting cars, jewelry, this and that. Now, I mean, my apartment was decent, but like, how am I gonna pay these bills? Like, when I tell you, I was back in my rent, like, my rent was like $795 a month. I was back like $2,500. I told my mother, I was like, Ma, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I have to come back home. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Did you ever think about going back to the streets?
I did.
As far as hustling? Okay. You did, or you did?
I did.
Or what started it anyway that pushed you to get to where you at right now? Because clearly you're not in the same position that you was in 2015.
No. One of my friends I was locked up with, I finally linked up with her, and we always talked about me doing music when I came home. And then she got me into a studio in 2017. And that's when I hit the bar, like, you know, snatching baby fathers or summer 17. And that's where Baby Daddy Snatcher name came from. And that's how that birth happened. I was in a hood studio and everybody was like, oh, I'm like, y'all like that little weak ass bar? But after I said that, and I was like, Baby Daddy Snatcher. They were like, what's your name? Baby Daddy Snatcher. And every time I said it, like, I got a reaction, whether it was good or bad, didn't give a fuck. And then shit just started growing for me. I don't know exactly who, what, when, where, why, but like little things would happen. Like, oh, I ended up on stage with some reggae artists, and that took me up a notch. And then, what the fuck else? And I started dating some guy. He was helping me with my brand. That took me up. And then recently, last year, how did I meet Smack? Oh, I was just partying with my friends at La Marina in the city, and I met Smack there. He's like, oh, what's up? I was like, hey, what's up? Oh, like, we still friends to this day. That was 2016. And then I went to an event with him. Like, he had a battle in 2023. Yeah, like November 2023. It was my birthday. He had a battle in Arizona. And I went out there to that battle, and I met one of his friends who's a lady. I love her to death, Big Kim, Big Woo. She was like, you're so funny, da-da-da-da-da, whatever the case may be. You should come out for this show. I was just like, what show? She's like, oh, this. I was like, do they fight? She's like, because she flew me out the end of November or early December to Miami to do that show. And then when I did that show, like before that, I already had fake motion because I knew a lot of people. But this took me to a level to have fans. Like when I go places, people are like, oh, I want to take a picture with you. I'm just like, oh, okay. But like I already had like hometown motion, like social media motion. But this took me to another like, and I only did 3 episodes, and that shit, like the way that shit grew, I'm still shocked. Like, oh my God, like y'all love me? Like that's crazy. I love y'all too or whatever. But like, yeah, Kimball definitely took me up a whole notch that I didn't. I don't think she knew what was gonna happen, but I felt like she believed in me enough, and that took me to that show, to Coming Up Miami on Now That's TV, and then I met B Jones on that. He's dying to work with me, but he ain't got no shows to work with me right now. But then I also met my manager, and he's been bringing me around so many people, and like I've been around so many dope people. And I just did a reality show last week in Atlantic City for Do You Have What It Takes to Be an Actor. So that was in ghetto. Thank God I ain't gotta punch nobody in the face. But like after that, it just like, and then it was hard because Baby Daddy Snatcher, when I first told people I was gonna be Baby Daddy Snatcher, like my friends, no one had no belief in that. Like zero. Oh, you shouldn't do that. That's negative. Da 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 da. I've lost friends because they said, oh, I don't support horror shit. But bitch, you supported my life and I still cracking heroin.
Yeah, I got 2 more questions for you. First question is, and this is an important question. If you could speak to 17-year-old baby daddy snatcher or the next baby daddy snatcher that's 15, 16 years old, that's entering that lifestyle or that's attracted to the fast lifestyle, the money and the things that come with it, what would you say to them right now?
I wouldn't don't do it. But not to me. I'm a different breed. Like, right. I don't change none that I did in my life. I have no regrets. I love everything. Like, the life I lived, some people in their 60s have never seen the amount of money and did the things that... And everybody would say money is everything. To me, money is everything. I don't care what nobody say. I love money. Money makes me extremely happy. You're not stressed. Like, I love my life. I have no regrets. I don't blame nobody for what I went through or what happened. Everything I did, it was on my own and my terms and my conditions, and I knew the consequences. But what I preach to little girls is like, baby girl, just get your own business, get your own money, make sure you never rely on no man, make sure you got your own, so when he try to play in your face, that when he leaves you, your lifestyle don't change and it only goes up. Do it the right way so that nobody can come and take it from you. That's one thing I regret, that the feds came and took my shit. Don't allow no one to fuck up your flow and your business. Don't let no man ever detour your life because they want you to live the life that they live in. Fuck that. If they selling drugs, stay away from them. If they shooting shit up, stay away from them. Especially if you're not even like that, if you're not about that life. Because if you a rat, if you be a civilian, if you're a civilian, be a civilian. If you in the streets, be in the streets. That's what I would definitely say. I'm still a regular hood bitch. Like, I definitely never would preach, oh, do this. I tell anybody who knows me knows I always try to feed. Like, if you want to do something, I'm a 1000% back you. Like, oh, what can I do to help you build what you want to do? Like, me today, I would never sell drugs again because I don't have to. Like, I would dot myself up, but I don't sell coochie. Like I said, my name is Baby Daddy Snatcher. I don't sell coochie, but I sell crack, and not the one behind my back. I don't care.
Let the people know where they can find you at X, Y, and Z, man. What Baby Daddy Snatcher got going on next, etc.
Okay, so Instagram is Baby Daddy _Snatcher. Everything else is just Baby Daddy Snatcher, spelled the proper way, no ebonics in that. Music, Baby Daddy Snatcher, Tidal, YouTube, Apple, all of that, Spotify, anything. You can find all my music on there. Baby Daddy Snatcher. I did the TV show on Now That's TV called Coming Up Miami. I also have another show coming up. I'm not sure what network they going back and forth between networks where they're gonna put it at. But it's called Do You Have What It Takes to Be an Actor. I'm also about to start working on my own reality show because I'm funny as shit. So stay tuned for that. I'm not sure what network that's gonna be on, but it's coming. Literally like next week I'm about to start recording, you know what I'm saying? And then a couple of movies, but I don't know what networks those are going to be on as well. Like, it's a whole lot of things. And I also have a listening party at Private Room in Queens, New York, hosted by Mr. Commodore. Shout out to him. Thank you.